Welcome to the Eureka Street Crypto Podcast.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Eureka John, and you're at Eureka Street Crypto, broadcasting live from Leander, Texas, on Monday morning, 6:01 in the morning, and it is January 10th, 2022. I'm feeling a lot better. Over the weekend, I was feeling under the weather, but now my wife is feeling terrible, so I have to take the kids to school and everything like that. So I'm going to have to try to get this under wraps real quick. But there's a lot of stuff going on in crypto all the time, so I got to try to cram a bunch into this episode. So I'm not sponsored by anybody. I'm not shilling anything. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm not a technical analysis analyst or fundamental analyst. I'm not trying to provide educational material at all. This is just entertainment. This is a morning show, right? Consider it just like morning entertainment. And that's it. Just to go with your coffee, or if you're that type of person, your beer in the morning. If you're the hair of the dog type of person, I hope you're not. But, all right. So this morning, let's see here what we can do for you on the Bitcoin charts, on the crypto charts. I say Bitcoin charts. I am all about all the cryptos, so not just Bitcoin. But Bitcoin is still in the toilet. And as you saw on the screen, whenever I was first, when the first screen first pulled up, I was looking at what's going on in Kazakhstan. And I think that, because I've been questioning, I was like, what in the heck is going on? And then, sometimes you just got to take a look at the news, like I get so absorbed in these like minute little details of layer 2 solutions and ZK rollups and, all the DeFi 3.0 and stuff like that. And, I don't know, that I forget to just scoot back and look at the larger picture, the macro environment, what's going on in the world for what might be causing these dips, So that's really important too sometimes. But yeah, apparently Kazakhstan has been in complete social unrest for like the past, ever since Bitcoin has been dropped drastically. And Kazakhstan also has one of the largest Bitcoin mining operations right now in the world there. So if it does not have internet, it does not have Bitcoin mining, and it causes the network hash rate to tumble. And therefore, when the hash rate is low, the value goes down. And, don't ask me about all the specific mechanics of it, but that's kind of how Bitcoin works. It says on Wednesday, Kazakhstan, the largest country in the world when it comes to a Bitcoin mining hash rate, experienced unprecedented political unrest. They say all the press outlets, all the mainstream press outlets are saying due to a sharp rise in fuel prices. Good thing that I have not trusted mainstream media since back in 2001 when I saw Building 7 collapse due to office fires, and that's what they were claiming it was happening. Yeah, since then I decided I was going to try to find my world news from other types of media outlets, and generally from people and outlets that have everything to lose instead of people that stand to profit from the news. So I always continuously seek out other news outlets, and Odyssey has some pretty good stuff of independent correspondents and other media outlets uploading their news footage. And I know everybody's gonna say you're a conspiracy theorist. Don't let people that the FBI, a CIA term, conspiracy theorist, keep you from being a critical thinker. So. Yeah, I've been seeing lots of videos being leaked out of Kazakhstan, correspondents, people from there, officials fleeing from Kazakhstan, saying that they are in complete social unrest due to the vax passports and due to the people not being allowed access to their money without the proof of the jab. So yeah, which is a problem. And if that were to ever happen here, that would be a problem too. So, yeah, Kazakhstan, the government has been completely taken over. They are in complete civil unrest. Buildings are on fire. Officials are getting arrested. Medical officials are getting arrested. Yeah, it's total chaos and pandemonium there. If it is indeed due to the requirement of people needing to have a jab in order to be able to access money in their bank, then by all means, they have every right to take over the government at that point. I'm serious, man. So yeah, more power to them if that's the case. But it has caused a drop in Bitcoin price, and so it's fine. We'll take this time as a time to buy in and to jump into more secure money, and money that hopefully will be resistant to this type of censorship, which basically is any type of limitation of you having access to your money. Yes, anti-censorship, censorship-resistant money is super important, and it's not only Bitcoin too. You might want to think about looking into Monero, the pirate chain token, the R token, and the secret network, and things like that. As Kazakhstan is falling, not because of fuel prices, nobody gets that upset to the point where they're burning down the capital and arresting government officials and medical officials due to fuel prices. No, it just doesn't happen. This is because people are not being allowed access to their money in their banks because of them not having, the VAX. So, yeah. So, anyway, I don't want to sit here and go on a tirade about that today because that's not what this show's about. But this move dealt a severe blow to Bitcoin mining activity in the country as per data compiled by Y-Charts. The Bitcoin network's overall hash rate declined 13.4% in the hours after the shutdown from about 205,000 petahash per second to 177,330 petahash per second. The country accounts for 18% of the Bitcoin network's hash activity. Just days prior, they're talking about the Kazakh government removed price caps on liquefied petroleum gas used for car fuel to align with market conditions, which doubled its price overnight, sparking violent protests. Now, they may have done some of these price cap removals on liquefied petroleum, but I don't think that's what's sparking these violent protests. At the time of publication, the internet remains inaccessible in Kazakhstan. If extended, the consequences could be as severe as internet services aside. The Data Center Industry and Blockchain Association of Kazakhstan expects the country to generate 1.5 billion from legal cryptocurrency mining and another 1.5 billion in illicit activities over the next 5 years. The country's low energy prices have attracted both domestic and foreign entities to set up shop for Bitcoin mining. According to global petro prices, electricity in Kazakhstan costs on average just 0.055 per kilowatt hours for businesses. So interesting stuff. I'm finally able to kind of tie a reason to why the Bitcoin market has been tanking. So anyway, so let's go back over here to the old CoinGecko charts. Ethereum is at $3,109.22. Tether's at 99 cents, a stable coin. Binance Coin 433.88. USDC is $1. Solana is 139.64. Cardano. Okay, I admit I was a little hard on Cardano yesterday when somebody asked me, Backlash asked me, hey, Backlash, I know who you are, by the way. You're my old friend. Thanks for jumping on. I didn't put two and two together until after the show. But anyway, so hey, I hope you're doing all right. So anyway, Cardano, I don't hate Cardano. It's just, it has a lot going for it. I just think that there's a lot that needs to be built out on it, like always, and it's just kind of getting tiresome. But I'm sorry. I think I was a little too hard on the Cardano people and Cardano project yesterday. So, I try not to be overly critical of everything because we are all new in this game. We are all new in this crypto space and web3 space, and we're trying to figure it out as we go along. So in order to be completely highly critical of any one project, unless it's just like a total like World Economic Forum complete sham, like meant to enslave humanity, then I think it's everything deserves like a decent chance. So anyway, XRP 74 cents, Polkadot 24.43, Terra 69.44. Avalanche 83.11, the Doge at 14 cents, Shiba Inu at 0.0002789 cents, Polygon $2.09. Binance stablecoin, Chainlink is at 26.67, one of the few coins up over the past week. So yeah, that's about that. Let's go on to something funny that I found here. I have to, this I had to talk about this. This is funny. A reality star You guys might know who this is because I don't know reality stars from from whatever. I don't watch reality TV. My wife does. She probably knows who this is. A reality star who says she made $200K from selling her farts in mason jars is pivoting to selling them as NFTs. So Stephanie Matto, I think that's how you say it, said she made $200,000 by selling her farts in mason jars. After a hospital visit, doctors told her that excessive windbreaking was taking a toll on her body. She has since pivoted to selling the fart jars as NFTs. They sell for 0.05 Ethereum. Oh my God, dude, what is going on? I mean, look at her. She doesn't fart. Girls are not supposed to fart, right? Believe me, I live with 3 little ladies, or my wife and 2 little ladies. And I have another older daughter that doesn't live with me, but she comes, and whenever they're all in the house together, it's me versus 4 ladies, and I know that they fart. Trust me. They used to say, back in my college days, I went to a Christian university, and everybody's saying that they wait until marriage and stuff like that for doing the deed and everything like that. And a lot of times they're not only talking about sex, but they're talking about farts. The people are scared to fart in front of their girlfriend or their to-be wife whenever you're a young buck, right? So they say, once I put the ring on that finger, it's gonna go. Yeah. That's the mentality of a 20-year-old dude right there in a lot of cases. So. But yeah, Stephanie Matto, pardon my aside there, Stephanie Matto, 31 years old, made headlines around the world when she announced that she'd have to retire from selling her farts in jars after she said she was hospitalized while trying to keep up with the skyrocketing demand. The former star of TLC's 90 Day Fiancé said she made around $200,000 from selling her bottled farts to her fans. So during the 90 Day Fiancé show, did she fart in front of her potential fiancé? Oh, man. But doctors advised her that her excessive windbreaking was taking a toll on her body. Instead of abandoning the business venture entirely, no way, man. That's like free money straight out of straight out of her butt. So instead of abandoning the business venture entirely, Matto told Insider that she decided to pivot to selling her farts as non-fungible tokens. Yeah, it sounds really non-fungible. Now Matto is hoping to carve out a space in the NFT world with her unique fart art. So there's just space for everybody. She said during a phone call with Insider. You know how ticker codes, say for instance, art could be the crypto ticker code, and it could be wrapped in a fart, so it could be a lowercase f, fart token. But last year, she decided to sell her farts as an experiment to see if anybody would actually purchase them. Her first batch of 97, each selling for $500, ended up selling out instantly. She said the second shipment, selling for $1,000, also sold out. She said she made approximately $200,000 total. Man, you can't really buy a house for that nowadays, but you could buy, I don't know, man, a lot for $200,000 just farting out money. Basically, is what she's doing. A customer of hers who asked only to be referred to as John. Oh, geez, great name, John. Told why the product was so appealing to him. The 43-year-old financier said he spent $1,000 on 2 fart jars. Explained that it helped him feel a sense of closeness to Matto. Oh, that's creepy. I have a lot of fetishes, and one of them is that I like the smell of a woman, he said. I like all of the smells. That is so gross. I try to stand up for men's rights, because I live in a house full of ladies, and I know how, soul-crushing women can sometimes be and stuff like that. But then guys like this come around. They're so creepy and gnarly that they just throw all my arguments out the window, because all my wife and my daughters have to do is point to a guy like this. I'm like, okay, I get it. I'm sorry. So Matto says that over the holiday season this year, orders from devoted customers like John flooded in. She said, I knew I wasn't going to fulfill them, but I tried anyway. One morning, she had 3 large servings of protein shakes and several bowls of black bean soup to help her meet the demand, but she started to feel unwell with sharp shooting pain in her chest and heart and decided to go to the ER. You don't say. Okay. Anyway, all right. I think I've had enough of that one for now, but I definitely wanted to touch on that one. So anyway, let's go to another project here. I was talking about DeFi 3.0 a couple days ago, and I brought up multi-chain capital, and I brought up scary chain capital on the Phantom network, and DeFi 3.0. Okay, so I talked about DeFi 1.0, which is you basically being able to lock up your cryptocurrency and then borrow against it in a decentralized way, kind of like an online pawn shop, you putting stuff up for hawk and you borrowing against it because it's your property and you having the freedom to do that. DeFi 2.0 is the protocol buying back its own liquidity, because a lot of times what happens in DeFi 1.0 is people will take advantage of the high APYs at first, and then they will kind of mass exodus out of the protocol and taking all the liquidity with it, and thus leaving people in the protocol as bag holders as the value of the token drops. So DeFi 2.0 prevents this by the protocol buying the liquidity back from the token holders, the liquidity pool token holders, and owning that liquidity so it can't be rug pulled. And that's been what people are calling the Ohm forks. Well, DeFi 3.0 is a new variation on DeFi in which basically you can buy a token, and when you buy that token, you pay an entry tax, and when you sell the token, you pay an exit tax. And then from there, that protocol of the token you're buying invests that money for you into a bunch of high yield farming and DeFi 2.0 type of projects and stuff like that in order to yield farm for you, and then you get a percentage of that return. Kind of like fractional reserve banking in a way. If fractional reserve banking were to actually work out the way it's supposed to, and they actually give you a fair share of what they've earned in interest off of your hard-earned money. Because fractional reserve banking, if you don't know, if you deposit $100 in the bank is allowed to use $90 of your $100 to go invest, and they make buttloads of money off of your money, 90% of your money, and they give you at best in your savings account and a high yield. What they consider high yield is 0.1% savings. That's ridiculous. While they're sitting there making tons of money off of your money, they're giving you 0.1%. Well, we have centralized finance like BlockFi and Celsius and stuff like that will give you a little more percentage. They will give you back up to even 8%, of the you deposit your Bitcoin and your Ethereum and your stable coins into Celsius or BlockFi, and then they go invest it, and then they give you back like 8%, and that's pretty good, between 4 to 8%. It's a hell of a lot more than banks, but they hold the keys to your crypto. So with things like DeFi 3.0 is you hold the keys to your crypto and you connect your wallet, and you basically buy their tokens, and then by you buying the tokens, you pay an entry and exit tax, and then that money goes into the people holding the tokens, and then they take that money and they invest it into these DeFi protocols, and then the yields from that go back into it, and it's supposed to be open and transparent. So here's one right here called Reimagined.Fi. So let me go back to the homepage here. So REFI'ed. So I talked about multi-chain capital the other day, and I talked about some scary chain capital on Phantom, and I talked about cross-chain capital on Avalanche. Well, here's another one on the Ethereum blockchain besides multi-chain capital. Multi-chain capital is the largest DeFi 3.0 application yet so far. Reimagined.Fi is newer. I believe this just came about in November. So both multi-chain capital and Reimagined.Fi are both very new, but multi-chain capital is a lot bigger right now so far. So if you're looking for something that's a little more, when you invest in multi-chain capital, you get back multi-chain capital tokens as the return. With Reimagined.Fi, you get back Ethereum tokens as the return. So I thought that made it stand out. Let me go and open up multi-chain capital here just so you can see multi-chain. Multi-chain capital. Okay, so I'll just search that, but in the meantime, while that's loading, so here, the other one is Reimagined.Fi. Okay, so you buy REFI, we use it to farm DeFi projects and multiple chains. We return the profits seamlessly back to you. Okay, so let's see. You can choose your reflections, and the reflections are the tokens that you get back as your percentage of what they've invested it in. So if they invest in a mix of Phantom, DeFi farms, and Hector DAO, and then they go and they put it in Wonderland.money on the Avalanche blockchain, and say they might put some in Spell token, and earn some magic internet money and stuff like that. Then all that comes back and it gets accumulated back in Reimagined.Fi, and a percentage of that goes back to you in what they're calling reflections. And that's the same term used in all the DeFi 3.0 applications. It's called reflections. So yeah, and so you can choose your reflections. In this particular one, you can choose Ethereum or you can choose their native token REFI. And so if you choose REFI, of course, you'll get more than if you choose Ethereum. But Ethereum is kind of a little more of a stable option. So let's see here. They give you a couple different farming strategies, which I'll talk about here in a second. So the motivation: DeFi has a high technical barrier. Yes, it is, and I'm kind of a nerd, so I love exploring around all these DeFi apps and trying them out and doing, getting down to the nitty gritty, and sometimes losing my entire crap, on testing out some of these platforms. But sometimes it works out great, and in the meantime, I've been using the house's money basically at this point now. I'm not even using any new money that I'm putting in. This is just all stuff that I've earned, and it's helping me to learn, so I call it educational expense. But anyway, so DeFi has a high technical barrier to enter and requires a thorough learning curve. We want to make it easier for everyone to be able to start earning massive passive income. massive passive income, right? Through DeFi without the complexities. So hold REFI. That's all you got to do. You don't have to lock it away. You don't have to do anything. You just hold the token. And same thing with multi-chain capital. Same thing with a scary chain capital on Phantom. So I got the app open. Hold on, let me see. Scary chain capital. That's on Phantom. So let me go and pull up this multi-chain capital, see if I found the right link for it. Yeah, multi-chain capital right here. mchain.capital is the website. Yeah, I glossed over that a few days ago. But anyway, so DeFi has a high technical barrier and requires a thorough learning curve. We want to make it easier for everyone to be able to start earning passive income through DeFi without the complexities. Hold REFI. That's all you have to do. We use the money in the treasury to farm across multiple chains and return the profits seamlessly back to you through Ethereum or native token reflections. So it's kind of the same principle as multi-chain capital. It's kind of the same principle as scary chain capital, but it's this time you get Ethereum back, which I think is pretty cool. And it's a newer project and it's less well known than multi-chain capital. So I think that there's a little more room to potentially be an early investor here and to kind of get the inside scoop on it. I don't have any extra money right now. I'm pretty honestly broke after Christmas and stuff like that. So I can't really put anything new into anything like this right now. So I'm going to kind of have to sit on the sidelines for a while. Approach all this stuff with your own sense of risk tolerance. All this stuff I'm talking about is super risky. But it's interesting to me. What's interesting to me is about this and all this crypto stuff is the different experiments with economics and with game theory and everything like that is happening in crypto. And everybody's trying out different stuff. And you'll have these naysayers, sit there and talk about how lame web3 is and all this stuff. And I'll come to an article here in a second that highlights some of that stuff. But really, it's a lot of experimentation. And as I always say, nobody really knows what they're doing. So it's interesting. So here, multi-chain capital. You buy MCC. Hold on. You buy MCC on Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain. We farm on multiple chains and return the profits to the holders. So here's the multi-chain capital app right here. You connect your wallet. So let's go back over here to this one, the Reimagined.Fi. So tokenomics. Ethereum reflections on every transaction. So rather than returning the native token to holders, we return ETH to users along with doing buybacks and burns. So note, to receive dividends, you will need a minimum of 10,000 refi. Right now, refi is worth about 9 cents a piece. So it's about $900 that you have to put in minimum. So if you want an exponential reflection, you can do so in our dashboard to convert your ETH dividends to refi in one click. So if you're willing to hang on to the risk a little longer, then instead of cashing out in Ethereum and getting your returns in Ethereum, you can get your returns in refi. And that's if you think that token is going to stick around for a while and to grow in value. So, it's always kind of a gamble. It's like, what do you think is going to happen with this project? Do you think this game theory is going to hold up? So it's all this is totally experimental, and it's fun, and it's really interesting to me. So anyway, it's the ERC20 token. The ticker symbol is REFI. Here's the contract address. There's a total supply of 1 billion. Dividend minimum is 10,000 refi. So let's see here. 5% of each buy sell is converted to ETH reflections automatically. So whenever you buy into it or you sell into it, 5% of that is converted to the reflection of what you get back as Ethereum automatically. And then the dividend mechanism incentivizes token holders to hold in order to earn dividends from the transaction buys and sells. So the longer you obviously hold the token, the more of these reflections you're going to earn. The dividends are not dependent on the price of either refi or ETH. They are based purely on the volume of refi and are proportional to the amount of refi you hold in your wallet. Okay, cool. So then you can choose between two options: receive ETH with a claim ETH button, or receive that value in refi with a claim refi button. DeFi 3.0, 6% of each buy sell goes to the treasury wallet. The strategy for farming will be revealed later and decided together as a DAO. So 5% is an automatic reflection. So each buy and sell, 5% of that buy and sell from whoever is buying and selling in there goes back to all the whole token holders' reflections, right? And then the 6% of that, so I guess it's like 11% total, goes into the treasury wallet. And that 6% of everybody's buy and sells goes into the treasury wallet to be invested into different DeFi projects for yield farming. And then those strategies are right up here. There's strategy 1 and strategy 2, and they lay it out, and they lay out all this stuff specifically so you can see how it's done. I don't know about governance. Do token holders have governance rights? Is this a DAO and stuff like that? That I don't know. I'll have to dig further into that and see. But it would be interesting if you would have governance rights over that and to be able to help choose the different DeFi options. So here's the contract source code right here. After making that smart contract literacy video in the Bankless DAO, I now look at the source code for all of these because that's really important. So let's see here. Is this? Yes. Okay. So here's the refi source code. So you can see the code, which is a good sign. If you can't see code right here in the middle, then that's a problem. If it's just binary code, and binary code looks something like that, it's just it doesn't make sense. And then another good sign here is this Open Zeppelin extension right here. Open Zeppelin is the smart contract library, and so it's basically tried and true and tested code by developers all around the world who have contributed to this in GitHub, and it's been audited. And so any project that uses Open Zeppelin instead of trying to rewrite all their own code from scratch or using some janky other types of code libraries or whatever that are unaudited, then that's a problem. So I see that it's using Open Zeppelin right here, so that's good. But one thing that I see here that is kind of a red flag is no contract security audit submitted. I saw in their forum that I looked in the questions, and it said when are you going to do a CertiK audit or something like that. They said they will be doing one, and they will let us know when they do it. Okay, I imagine that it costs money and time to do so. This project's been around since November. So again, approach with caution for sure, especially the fact that it does not have a security audit. So be careful about that. So yeah, don't go and dumping a ton of money into this right now, especially if that's hard to come by for you. So yeah, anyway, so that's a quick look at the contract. Anyway, but overall, I just think it looks like an interesting project. So anyway, so people talking smack about Web3. Here's, for instance, a blogger. I don't know who this dude Stephen Deal is, but he just sounds like he's just kind of an a-hole, honestly. But whatever. You got to have an a-hole for every pie in the sky. Pollyanna. So let's see here. We just straight to the point. Web3 is bullshit. So if you read tech journalism, hear the fuzzy term Web3 bandied about in the press, sprinkled around all these articles are all manner of idealistic and utopian ideas about how we can rebuild the internet to reflect our aspirations of a more humane and egalitarian society. However, the journalists never quite drill down into the details on the mechanisms of how the internet will be remade, because after all, tech writers are in the storytelling business, and a myth about the rebirth of cyberspace makes for a ripping yarn far more than mundane skepticism of a hyped technology. Yet when those of us who are in the chips, bits, and packets business look into the alleged engineering details, they're always either complete hand-wavy woo-woo or dreams over-leveraged on perpetually over-the-horizon blockchain tech searching for tomorrow's problem to justify an investment today. Just buy my token today to secure your stake in a better tomorrow is the age-old pitch of charlatans and the snake oil salesmen, except this time around it's being pushed by the world's largest investors who have deep bags of tokens to dump. Wow, man, who peed in your coffee? So at its core, Web3 is a vapid marketing campaign that attempts to reframe the public's negative associations of crypto assets into a false narrative about disruption of legacy tech company hegemony. It is a distraction in the pursuit of selling more coins and continuing the gravy train of evading securities regulation. We see this manifest in the circularity in which the crypto and Web3 movement talks about itself. It's not about solving real consumer problems. The only problem to be solved by Web3 is how to post hoc rationalize its own existence. Wow, okay, man. You seem to be having it out for Web3. Like, what about progress, The whole idea of bringing finance and blockchain into the internet space, that doesn't mean anything to you. Anyway, so here, on a compute basis, blockchain networks don't scale, except by becoming the very same plutocratic and centralized systems they were designed to replace. The Ethereum virtual machine has the equivalent computational power of an Atari 2600 from the 1970s, except it runs on casino chips that cost $500 a pop, and every few minutes we will have to reload it like a slot machine to buy a few more cycles. That anyone could consider this to be the computational backbone of the new global internet is beyond laughable. We've gone from a world of abundance and cloud computing where the cost of compute time per person was nearly at post-scarcity levels to the reverse of trying to enforce artificial scarcity on the most abundant resource humanity has ever created. This is regression, not progress. So anyway, he's asking some other questions here. Who will pay for the global data centers to serve content? Whose lawyers will respond to DMCA requests? Who's going to ban the Nazi accounts? Who will issue deletes on CSAM content? Who will reset grandma's password when she forgets? So, I hate to remind him, but token holders, people who have a stake in this stuff, the node runners, those are the people that will be doing all this stuff because they stand to profit from it and securing the network. And I don't know. The guy just seems really bitter about all this stuff. It seems like he has the money and the convenience and to be able to, he's probably an accredited investor. Like I am not an accredited investor. I don't have the required amount of net worth to my name to be able to get these special deals to invest in all these high profit scenarios that the regulators call risky, and that they can't let people like me dabble with. But one thing that Web3 and DeFi has allowed me to do is to be able to do the decentralized pawn shop, to go use Aave, to go use a lot of these DeFi applications, to accept responsibility for myself, to acknowledge the risk of what I'm getting into, and as a big boy like me, can accept the consequences of my own mistakes and the responsibility to hold my own keys. Yes, I love Web3. I love the freedom that is allowed me with my finances in order to be able to jump in and experiment and to be an entrepreneur. So what this guy is calling BS is basically my freedom to try things out. And he's saying that they're all out just taking advantage of me. No, actually, I've done very well so far using Web3 and my freedom to experiment with my finances and money as I see fit. I'm going to try not to do something stupid, but if I do, it's my own responsibility, and it's the freedom to be stupid if I want to be. So his whole premise of Web3 is BS, and that is just, the large tech companies trying to take advantage of me. I think that's BS, but that's just like my opinion, man. And that's his opinion too. So, all right. All right. So anyway, I will talk to you guys tomorrow. I'm at 36 minutes. I got to take the kids to school today and get all that stuff taken care of for my wife, who's laying sick in bed. I will talk to you guys tomorrow.
Thank you for making it to the end of this program. If you actually like this content, give a thumbs up. And if you want to hear more, just hit the subscribe button. I'm available on YouTube, Odyssey, and BitChute, and on all the major podcasting platforms in audio version. Spotify specifically. If you would like to follow and leave a review, that would help a lot. I am also available on Twitter at EurekaJohn1. That's EUREKA John, JOHN, and the number 1. My DMs are always open. Feel free to shoot me a message. Thanks again.